Hello, I'm Regina Rowland and I'm taking you through SDG 6, Clean Water and Sanitation. The main goal in this SDG is to ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. So what is the problem with access to water? On the one hand, the fresh water that is available is being moved around the planet in a different way and not available in the areas where it usually was, especially in the drier areas, because of climate change. At the same time as this availability diminishes, the demand increases on the other hand. Because we're growing in population, we're also growing economically, therefore we want more things in life, and this is, of course, especially present in emerging markets such as China or India. And a third issue that comes into play here is the fact that 30% of our really pristine virgin fresh water is located in underground aquifers. And this groundwater is being extracted way faster than nature could actually ever replenish it. And so those three things together bring us to very dangerous places in terms of availability of fresh water. Then there's also the issue of water sanitation, so unsafe water. So having enough water available on the one hand is one issue, but then also moving it to where we need it is another issue. And moving the water means that we need an appropriate infrastructure to do so, which at least in the Western world we have available. But all these infrastructures need to be continuously maintained and upgraded. And that's where we have noticed that in some countries that is not happening at the rate where it's needed. At the same time, we also have the problem that we are ruining the natural infrastructure that would be available to us for accessing fresh water, like wetlands or ecosystems that are clean water and provided for us for drinking. Another issue is the water waste. So we don't have enough water, we need more water. We need to move that water that's available. We don't really upgrade the infrastructure the way we need to, and we waste water on top of that. So for instance, we wash our cars with very high quality fresh water that we should be using only for drinking and cooking and things that we need that internally go into our body. So we also do not have enough infrastructure to process gray water in a way that allows us not to throw it away, but to reuse it for things where we don't need fresh water. This also brings us to the issue that we are undervaluing the value, so the monetary value of water. If fresh water was more expensive, we would probably figure out ways to reuse it and not waste it. Let's look at this graphic here of the water cycle on the planet, where we can see that water on the planet is in constant circulation. So we can also say our planet is designed, or it happens to be, that there's no water coming in from the outside and none of our water is going out. Right? So it stays in our system and is constantly moved around. The problem is that with this moving around, that we are using the water in a way that goes way faster for quality water than it should. And we're also wasting it and polluting it. So the amount of really fresh water that's available for us for survival is actually very small compared to all the water that's being moved around. And we need to be more careful with all that. Please also find a way to test your own water footprint. So there's a very nice site where you can do that. And remember that SDG 6 has 6 targets to work on and 2 measures in particular that are recommended. The report 2020 allows us to see what's going on globally with these issues, and the European statistics sites allows you to compare different countries with different aspects of water issues. So please go there and learn about your own country and compare that to other countries in your area. What does it look like in Austria? So we can say in general, in Austria we have one of the best water qualities around the world, and we're actually only using 3% of the available water resources. But we do have some issues. So for instance, due to climate change, we now have water shortages and droughts in some areas during some times throughout the year. We also have an increase, as all other countries around the world, with extreme weather conditions. And we also have dwindling wetlands that are due to us building up the land with buildings. And we have the new challenges of maintaining a very high quality of wastewater facilities and sanitary infrastructure. So what could organizations do? Again, we want to think about the core purpose of that organization that we're thinking about, the internal and external stakeholders, how this particular SDG impacts this organization, and what opportunities and benefits arise. When we have all that clear in our heads, we can then think about what contributions make sense and are useful and impact the issue. So educational institutions, in terms of SDG 6, the task lies in teaching the value of water, the real value of water, and informing about the challenge of maintaining wastewater treatment and sanitary facilities, and facilitating discussions about wasting water unnecessarily. An example for an inward action could be to encourage and role model sensible water usage on campus. An outward action could be to collaborate with other institutions on water projects that teach the real value of water. In municipalities, the task lies in guaranteeing access and availability of safe water, providing secure sanitary infrastructure and wastewater management. An inward action, for instance, could be to create or maintain and nourish local mini wetlands in the area and or related projects. Or to send water managers to schools and teach the young about local water management system and ways to take care of water in the region, and then have the children teach their parents. An outward action could be to collaborate with other municipalities on educational efforts to teach people about the value of water and its sensible usage. Corporations and other organizations. Their tasks are to provide safe water and waste for employees to participate in sustainable water usage in the organization, and in particular in organizations where a lot of water is used in the production of their goods and services. Especially there, it's important to role model sustainable water usage and management. An inward action could be to install digital systems that allow users to see how much water they're using and measure water usage overall in the organization. An example for an outward action could be to support water projects in countries where water issues are critical, or to negotiate reduced rates for employees who install digital systems in their own homes that help manage water more sustainably. Then the set takes you to an activity where you can think about your own organization or an organization of your choice, taking you through the same kind of reflection questions and to encourage you to design contribution possibilities. And then to evaluate your own designs for coherence between inward and outward actions and a balance between costs and benefits. After you get to a way to reflect upon all your learning in this set and maybe dive into more information, you're also invited to participate in the SDG journey, where we ask you to find and observe evidence for sensible water usage and water wasting in your region, and also to find out about the wastewater treatment methods in your own town and reflect upon how your country compares to others concerning access to clean water and sanitation. And that was it for SDG 6, and I'll see you in another set. Thank you.